Long before the colonial era in Western Africa, the country Ghana was called the Gold Coast because of its vast deposits of gold. Gold was the lifeblood of the land, and major villages at that time depended on the treasures dug from the earth. In one of such villages, nestled by the hills, lived a miner named Asari. He was known for his strength, skill, and an uncanny ability to find gold where others saw only dirt and stone. But Asari's story is not one of wealth and glory. It is a tale of betrayal, heartbreak, and a lesson learned too late. The most haunting part of Asari's tale begins at the bottom of the ravine, where we found his broken body. His calloused hands clutched at the soil, as if in his final moments he had tried to hold on to the land that had always given him life. The gold he had worked so hard for was gone, and so was the wife he once believed was his greatest treasure. But to truly understand Asari's end, you must first understand how it began. Asari was a man admired by many. He had a sharp mind and the strength of a bull, traits that made him one of the most successful miners in the village. He always returned from the mines with gold in his pouch, enough to live comfortably and care for his aging parents. The elders often praised him, saying, "Asari is blessed by the spirits of the earth." He was a good man, kind and hard-working, but he had one weakness. He could not see past the beauty of a woman. This weakness revealed itself when he met Akosua. Akosua was stunning, a woman whose beauty stopped conversations and turned heads. Her skin gleamed like polished gold. Her smile could melt the hardest hearts, and her laughter was like music. Men in the village competed for her attention, bringing her gifts and singing her praises. But Akosua was not easily impressed. When Asari decided he wanted to marry her, the elders tried to advise him. They were wise and had seen more of life than he had. "Asari," they said, "Akosua is beautiful, yes, but beauty alone cannot make a good wife. Look deeper." But Asari was smitten. He believed that Akosua's beauty reflected the goodness of her heart. "She is the one for me," he told them. "You will see." Their courtship was short, and their wedding was the grandest the village had seen in years. Everyone danced and celebrated, though some whispered doubts behind their smiles. Asari, however, was overjoyed. He thought he had won the greatest prize of his life. For a time, things seemed perfect. Akosua greeted Asari with a warm smile each evening when he returned from the mines. She cooked his meals, helped him count his gold, and accompanied him to the market. Asari thought he had everything, a loving wife and the wealth to provide for her. But there were whispers in the village. People said they saw Akosua meeting strangers at the edge of the forest. Others said she lingered too long at the market, laughing with other handsome young men. I was one of Asari's closest friends, and I couldn't ignore what I was hearing because there is a saying that there is no smoke without fire. One evening, I decided to speak to him as a friend. "Asari," I said, "you are like a brother to me, and I cannot keep silent. There are things that you need to know about Akosua." He frowned, his expression hardening. "What are you saying?" he asked. I hesitated, but I pressed on. "I heard she is meeting with other young men from neighboring villages in secret. The villagers are talking, Asari. I think you should speak to her." He stood abruptly, anger flashing in his eyes. "Do not speak ill of my wife," he said. "She has done nothing wrong. You are jealous." I wanted to say more, but when I saw the fire in his eyes and that his mind was closed, I refrained. He believed Akosua was incapable of betrayal, and no words could change that. The truth, however, has a way of revealing itself. One evening, Asari came home earlier than usual. He had found a rich vein of gold that day, and was eager to share the news with his wife, Akosua. But as he approached their hut, he heard voices. His steps faltered, and he stood in the shadows listening. Inside, Akosua was speaking to another man. "He is blind, that fool of a miner," she said, laughing. "He brings me gold, and I share it with you. Soon, we will have enough to leave this wretched village." The man chuckled, and Asari's heart broke. He burst into the hut, his face a mask of pain and rage. The man fled into the night, leaving Akosua to face her husband's wrath. "Why?" Asari demanded, his voice shaking. "I gave you everything. Why would you betray me?" Akosua didn't flinch. Her smile, once so sweet, now seemed cold and cruel. "Because gold shines brighter than your love," she said. From that day, Asari was a changed man. He became obsessed with the idea of finding more gold, as if wealth could fill the emptiness Akosua had left in his heart. He spent long days and nights in the mines, pushing himself to the brink of exhaustion. The villagers worried about him, but he refused their help. One evening, Asari told me he had discovered something extraordinary. A hidden chamber in the mines, filled with gold beyond imagination. "This will change everything," he said, his eyes wild with desperation. I begged him not to go. "Asari, the spirits of the earth are watching. Greed will only bring you harm. Let it go." But he was deaf to reason. "I have nothing left to lose," he said. And with that, he disappeared into the darkness. Asari did not return that night. The next morning, we formed a search party. We followed his tracks deep into the mines, then to the ravine. There, at the bottom, we found him. His body was broken, his pouch of gold was gone, and the rich vein he had spoken of was nowhere to be found. Akosua was gone too. Some said she had fled with her lover, taking Asari's gold with her. Others whispered that the spirits of the earth had punished them both. Whatever the truth, their betrayal and greed had led to their downfall. Asari's story is still told in our village, not just as a cautionary tale about greed, but as a lesson about the dangers of blind trust. The elders often say, "A beautiful face can hide a poisonous heart." To this day, when I walk past the ravine, I think of Asari. I think of his laughter before he met Akosua, the strength in his hand, his pride in his work, and the way he believed love could conquer anything. His story reminds us all that true wealth is not in gold, but in wisdom, love, and the choices we make. It reminds us that love is not enough if it is blind, and that not all that shines is gold.
Hello, my community. This is Uncle Joe of the Echoes from Africa Village. I hope you enjoyed our story today. If you do, please endeavor to subscribe and turn on the notification button so you'll be the first to be notified when we drop our next episode. Until then, stay blessed and have a pleasant day. Bye bye.